Hey guys, welcome to the Tax Facts channel. I take tax information straight from the IRS publications and I make videos with examples to help you better understand this complicated tax codes. Okay guys, welcome back to part 2. We're discussing filing information regarding the income tax return. If you have not seen part 1, that's okay. You don't need to go in order on these videos, but I do suggest you go back and take a look. A lot of good information. We're starting from the basics, starting from the very beginning. And if you have seen part 1, drop a comment below. Let me know what you thought about that video and how this one compares to it. I tried to make a few adjustments, try to make the video a little shorter for you guys. And as always, like, subscribe, hit that bell, get the notifications for any new videos coming out. Keep an eye out for part 3 and 4. The topics we're going to be discussing in this video are electronic filing, the free ways to e-file. There's 2 free ways to e-file. When do you need to file by? What is the due date for your tax return? When is the latest I can file my tax return? And we're going to be discussing refund versus owing your taxes. How to determine if you are getting a refund or if you need to pay any taxes owed, and how can you receive those refunds, and in what ways can you pay those taxes. Okay, so we're going to get into that now. So this next part might be a little shocking to hear. There are actually free ways to electronically file your tax returns. So what is the IRS Free File? It's a program between the IRS and many tax preparation and filing software industry companies who provide their own online tax preparation and filing for free. They provide 2 ways for taxpayers to prepare and file their federal income tax online for free. So let's take a look at the first one, Free File, the guided tax preparation. It provides free online tax preparation and filing at an IRS partner site. The IRS partners deliver this service at no cost to those taxpayers whose adjusted gross income is $73,000 or less. I provided the link below if you want to take a look at more information. And then we have the second way, Free File fillable forms. These forms are electronic federal tax forms. They're equivalent to the paper 1040 forms. But just be aware that you should know how to prepare your own tax return if needed. It also provides a free option to taxpayers whose adjusted gross income is greater than $73,000. So to put these free filing ways in a nutshell, the guided tax prep is exactly that. You're guided through it and it's completely free. And the fillable forms is more based on you doing it yourself, so you have to make sure you know what you're doing, okay? So there are a couple of ways to file your federal income tax returns. I feel like the most popular one nowadays is filing electronically. There still are some people who file by paper, some people amend returns, some business tax returns. But I feel like the majority of people file electronically now. So the IRS e-file, they use automation to replace most of the manual steps needed to process paper returns. As a result, it's much faster and more accurate than processing paper returns. However, as with a paper return, you're responsible for making sure your return contains accurate information and is filed on time. Like I had mentioned in the beginning of the video, there is a penalty for a failure to file by that end date, by the tax date, okay? Moving on to the next slide here, when do I need to file my 2021 tax return? Now this is for U.S. citizens and residents who file returns on a calendar year basis, not a fiscal year. So for most taxpayers, without any extensions, the latest you can file your tax return is April 18th of 2022. And then if you have that automatic extension, it brings you to October 17th of 2022. Now, I do want to make a note: when the due date for doing any act for tax purposes, such as filing a return or paying taxes, if it falls on a Saturday, Sunday, or legal holiday, the due date is delayed until the next business day. So what if you missed the deadline and file late? If you don't file your return by the due date, you may have to pay a failure to file penalty with interest. The penalty is usually 5% for each month or part of a month that a return is late, but not more than 25%. The penalty is based on the tax not paid by the due date, without regard to extensions. So if you file an extension that does not give you the ability to not pay your taxes by that due date, you still need to pay your taxes. And I just want to make a side note: if your tax return is going to result in a refund, there is no penalty if you do file late. And if your tax return results in a refund, don't file late. That's money the government has withheld from you throughout the year. That is your money. That's an interest-free loan that you have given the government. That money is better in your pocket. It's better spent on your bills, your savings, things in your life that you want to do. Don't forget to file. What happens if I have paid too much or too little taxes throughout the year? How do I know? When you complete your return, you will determine at the end if you had paid more income tax than you owed. If you did, you will get a refund for the amount you overpaid, or you can choose to apply all or part of the overpayment to your next year's estimated taxes. And if you paid too little, when you complete your return, you'll determine if you have paid the full amount of the tax you owe. If you owe additional tax, you should pay it with your return. If you don't pay your tax when it's due, you may have to pay a failure to pay penalty. I've listed the link below for more information. Now there's that failure to pay and failure to file. So be sure you file on time and make sure you pay any taxes due. So now that we've determined if we're receiving a refund or if we're paying taxes owed, let's talk about how we can receive that refund and how do we pay those taxes. So ways you can receive the refund: instead of getting a paper check, you can have a direct deposit into your checking or savings account. There's also a few other options you can choose from. You can have it go directly into a traditional IRA, a Roth IRA, a SEP IRA, but not a simple IRA. Also, you can have it directly deposited to Treasury Direct, or split refunds between the spouse or 2-3 other people. Now when it comes time to pay your taxes, you can pay online, you can pay by phone, mobile device, check, money order, but do not include any estimated tax payments for the following year. Instead, make the estimated tax payments separately. Okay guys, this ends part 2 of the filing information. Be on the lookout for part 3 and 4. I want to make a note again, as I mentioned in part 1, all this information is from the IRS publication 17. I left the link there so you can go and check it out on your own. And please guys, like and subscribe. Leave any comments on any suggestions of new videos to make, or any comments on this video itself. Also, you can check me out on TikTok and Instagram. I put up videos that I call Tax Facts in a Nutshell, and it's just basically the highlights of that topic. You might like that. Check them out. Let me know what you think.